Bang, we're live. What's up, my fellow effing DJs? Word to Mushroom Philly. Shout out to everybody here. I know a few people saying, yo, is he live? Is my stream acting up? Like the man Sean said, there's always a little delay. Apologies, guys. I'm always 3, 4, 5 minutes late, but you know, I'm still going to be here and I'm still going to break down the entire card for you, which is the most important thing at the end of the day, you know. So we live now. We got 73 live viewers here, so shout out to everybody. That's a lot of live viewers. These fight day streams might be a new thing for me. Maybe they are. Maybe they am. Maybe they are. Maybe they do. Maybe they will be. We'll see. But I haven't got too long because the fights start in half an hour. So we're going to get straight into it. We're going to break down all 5 fights on the card. I'll try and be faster than I usually am. Unfortunately, maybe I'm not going to give you guys the rants that I know you all know and love, the rants when I go in depth on things, but maybe we'll leave that for another video. First of all, shout out to everybody in the chat. Adam Rush, Daz Files. We've even got Lucrative MMA Betting in the chat. Gary Ostro. Let's get the bag. The Dab Father, my man Dab Father, Steiny, Andy Rutherford, Justin Frankella. I'm here now, bro. Francella, Sean, the Dab Father. We're going to make some money today, man. John MCW, if you're betting a mil hot. Post a W if you're betting a mil and a Hardwick parlay tonight. So if anyone's betting that parlay, post up. Let's go. Random Malacca, sup boys. Hey, it's popping here tonight. It's popping in here. It's popping in here. So yeah, shout out to everyone. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. The first fight of the night, Cameron Smotherman versus... All right, wait there, boys. Sherylampus Gregorio. How did I do? I hope I did well on that one. Let me bring up my screen so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. That was a bit of a tough surname to pronounce. Yeah, so boys, first fight of the night. Cameron Smotherman versus Sherylampus Gregorio. So this fight isn't a great fight in my opinion, but I do think it will be quite fun. In terms of skill set, I don't think it's a great fight. I don't think either guys have massive upside in their respective divisions. In the bantamweight division especially, I mean, it's one of the most tough divisions in the sport. Actually, it's the best division in the sport. So anytime you have bantamweight prospects, it's like, damn, you're probably not going to do well in the UFC unless you're something special. My man Peyton Talbot last week, which we had a bet on him and he crushed, he looked like something special. But even him, I'm like, damn, he's going to have a tough time in the bantamweight division. So when you get guys like this, who, in my opinion, are nowhere near the level of Peyton Talbot, you know, they're gonna be hard pressed to find success in the UFC. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, we're going to be trying to make money. I don't really care about the skill sets of the fighters. I just care about making money. The only time I care about the skill sets of the fighters is obviously for entertainment purposes. But beyond that, it's because it brings inherent volatility. And here I am going off on a rant already, not even breaking the fight down. What I want to say is that the lower the skill set of the fighters, the more inherent volatility of the matchup. But people shy away from that. They say, oh, it's low level. I'm not going to bet it. There's more volatility. You can lean into that volatility and make it pay. You can make the volatility make you more money. Because if it's more volatile, then that might be certain lines which we can capitalize on. Because although the fight should play out one way, it's more volatile, so it might not. So maybe we play the plus money side, or maybe we just sprinkle a little bit on a certain prop that looks wide, even though it might not happen. Because it's so volatile, it might happen more often than the odds suggest. So we can definitely take advantage of these volatile fights, and that's one thing you can do with Dana White's Contender Series. You know, it's very volatile for many reasons. I'm not going to go into all of them now because I'm going to break down this fight, but there's definitely many reasons why we can make money on Dana White's Contender Series and these type of fights. This fight, I think it's going to be a good fight. I think, like I said, low skill set, but I do think the fight's going to be quite fun. Cameron Smotherman he doesn't really like to smother man. He doesn't like to smother man. He kind of likes to stay on the outside. He's got good range for his division. If we can see, he's 5'9" at bantamweight. That's decent. I mean, it's not massive, but it's decent. 5'9" bantamweight. And so he likes to use his range, control range, distance management, and let off good boxing combos. And he has some good head kicks. He's very athletic. You can tell that. And he has very good flexibility, very athletic. He bounces back up to his feet when he's taken down, unless the position is consolidated against him, which happens a lot, and we'll get into that. But he's a decent striker. On the other hand, we got Gregorio, who I feel like he doesn't utilize his skill set as best, because whenever I've seen him be on top of guys, he looks quite good in my opinion. Like, he takes people down and he does good work from top position, but the guy just never really shoots. The guy doesn't really shoot takedowns. And it's like, why don't you shoot takedowns more often than not? I have seen him shoot takedowns, but most of the time that I've seen him shoot takedowns is when guys have shot in on him and he's kind of reversed the position and then shot on them. Or when maybe someone's tried to take him down and he's sprawled and got on top, or whether someone's tripped over and he's jumped on top. I haven't really seen him put together a coherent game plan where he's shooting takedowns. And that's fine, because he's a decent striker. He's okay on the feet. But I would like to see him shoot takedowns a lot more. I think he would win more fights that way, especially in this fight. Because in my opinion, there's a massive path to victory for Gregorio here if he gets on top. I mean, we've seen time and time again, Cameron Smotherman has struggled badly in the wrestling department. He's a good striker, but when it comes to the wrestling and grappling, he's not great. His technique isn't bad, but he doesn't seem to have the strength he needs. And being a 5'9", bit of a taller bantamweight, sometimes they can be a little bit weaker. And in my opinion, he doesn't have the strength that he needs to defend some of these takedowns. If this fight stays on the feet for 15 minutes, I do think Cameron's going to win the fight. I don't think he's going to completely dominate, but I do trust his power a little bit more. I do think he can hurt his opponent more often than not. And I do think he's just a better striker overall. If Gregorio would come out here and shoot takedowns consistently, I would most certainly be betting him. But I can't do it, guys. The reason I can't do it is just I can't trust this guy to shoot takedowns. So the bet I like on this fight is the over 2.5 rounds. It got hit a little bit, so I'm not really sure where it's at now. I'm not sure if there's too much value, but at Pick'em, at -125, at -130, at -140, I tend to think there's some value there. But, you know, once it starts getting to like -160, 170s, which I think it's trending that range now, that's kind of when you have to pass, because there is a chance this fight finishes. I just like the over. In my opinion, if you bet the over, you're kind of capturing Gregorio's win condition. For the most part, I feel like if Gregorio wins, it is a decision. And then I do think that Cameron could win a decision as well. I think Gregorio's tough and I think he could last. So you're kind of covering the most likely win paths of both guys, in my opinion, at least with the over 2.5. I could see Cameron finish him in round 3, late in round 3, kind of like Christian Rodriguez did. I know that was early in round 3, but I could see that. So yeah, that's my breakdown of the fight. I'm going to pick Cameron, but I feel like this has got split decision written all over it. I'm not ballsy enough to pull the trigger on a +150. Maybe if I'm saying it's a split decision, maybe I should be betting +150. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's split decision if he shoots takedowns. I feel like he could look favorite if he shoots takedowns, but it also could be split decision. And if he doesn't shoot takedowns, I feel like Cameron can cover it. So I'm not really rushing to the window to bet it, although my official prediction will be Cameron by split decision. So, yeah. And what I want to say to everybody listening now, we've got 141 live viewers now, which is kind of funny because that's like more viewers, usually live viewers, than I get when I do midweek UFC streams, which is kind of crazy. But that just shows you everybody's online at this time. They're not going to be able to replay this because the fights are on in a minute. So it makes sense. But I want to say to everybody in here, every 141 of you, at 11 o'clock New Zealand time, which is like 7 p.m. ET, I think, just as the fights start, just as the UFC turn their stream on for Dana White's Contender Series, I'm going to be going live on my YouTube channel, the same YouTube channel you're on right now, and doing a live fight companion watch along. So anybody who wants to join me, please stay on. It'll be fun. We're going to be watching the fights together. I'm going to be live just like how I am now, and we're going to be watching the fights together. I can't post the fight up live, so you're going to have to watch it, but we'll be watching it together and We'll break down. We'll speak about bets and stuff like that. Should be fun. Yeah, if anybody you hear in here now, smash the like button. And I would love to interact with all of these comments, but honestly, a bit tough because I just forgot what I was going to say. Because we ain't got a lot of time. All right, so moving on. Where we at, boys? Moving on. 153 man in there right now. Paulo Ronaldo Jr. versus Ibas. Massive pass. Massive pass. Someone said to me, what did they say? They said, if you can convince me to bet on this. Yeah, look. Bailey's saying, if you can convince me to bet on this fight, I'll bet on it. I can't convince you, brother. I'm really sorry, but I cannot convince you. The reason is, if you bet on this fight, I don't know what I don't want to be rude, but like, I mean, how can you bet on this fight? There's like no information. Both guys are round one merchants. Both guys have hardly been out of round one. Paulo Ronaldo Jr. is dropping down to light heavyweight from heavyweight. Looked kind of shit at heavyweight in his last Contender Series fight against Jamal Pogues. Was slow, couldn't really get past the jab. Got a lot of round one finishes. Yeah, he seems quite strong. Ibo Aslan's the much bigger guy here, even though Paulo was a heavyweight. Ibo's much bigger guy. I mean, look at the traps on this dude, man. This guy's huge, man. And obviously, my man's looks terrible after round one. I mean, he's gassed out. I've seen him gassed out before. He did get that round 3 finish back in the day, but in the Anton fight, that was a sloppy fight. Both fighters like to throw heavy lever. Look, listen, this is a massive pass fight, guys. I don't want to break this down technically. This is definitely a pass fight for me. Let's just move on, yeah? Because we ain't got a lot of time anyway. Let's speak about some real fights. Haider Emil versus Emerson. This is a good fight. Yeah, I like Haider in this fight. I think Haider's going to break Emerson. I do think there is some path for Emra. You know, he could get some takedowns here. He can mix up the wrestling. He's got some decent takedowns. You know, he's got some decent single legs, double legs, trip, stuff like that. But I tend to think that overall, over the 15 minutes, Haider's going to keep getting back up to his feet. And then he's going to keep hurting Emra. You know, I have seen Emra kind of wilt to the pace and pressure in some of his fights. Let me go back on his record and I'll tell you the exact fight I'm speaking of, because there was one specifically. Yeah, so the Liam Gittins fight. If you go and watch that fight, you can see that he kind of wilted to the pace and pressure. You know, he didn't really like the pace and pressure. And when you're talking about pace and pressure, that is exactly what Haider Emil brings. I mean, if you can see his fights here, most of his fights, he wins inside the distance. And that's because he just keeps on. He doesn't stop, you know. He gets tired, but he keeps on pushing forward. I don't want to compare him to Peyton Talbot because he's nothing like Peyton Talbot, although some ways he is, but not really at all. But what I do want to say is that I kind of have a similar view to Peyton and Junior Cortez's fight to this fight. I think that Emra will do well in this fight at times. I just feel like the pace and pressure of Haider will break Peyton Talbot, which is, will break Emra Sonmaz, which is exactly how the fight between Junior Cortez and Peyton was broken down by me. I said, I do think Cortez will have success in the wrestling here, especially early. But I also think that over time, he's going to break down Cortez. And I kind of feel the same with Haider Emil here. There is a path to Emra Sonmaz. So I wouldn't be playing Haider Emil at like minus 200. No way. But I do like Haider Emil inside the distance. I do think there's some value on that line. Well, at plus money, there was value. Even at like minus 120, there probably is still value in my opinion. I do see this fight being a finish. I was going to play that doesn't go to decision, you know, depending on what that is. Emil plus 100 playable from Mandamel. I believe so. I believe any plus money is decent. I don't see this fight going to decision. I was going to play doesn't go to decision because I also have seen Haider Emil rocked on the feet. And there is some submission upside for Emra Sonmaz. And of course, he could land a big shot. But I decided to play Emil inside the distance instead. I just trust my reading Emil breaking him a little bit more. And I do think that Emra could win a decision. So I don't really want to lay juice on a much worse price where I'm giving most of the finishing equity to one fighter, which I can just play them inside the distance for plus money. And I don't have to pay juice. anytime you don't have to pay juice is a good thing, right? So, yeah, that's my prediction for the fight. I think Hardwick Mill is going to break him in round 2 or round 3 and get a finish. Bless me, boys. Bless me. And the Lord most certainly has blessed me because I get to watch fights for a living. And hopefully, we're going to make some more money. And I'm going to help you make some money doing it. And I think I can do it on this fight. So, I am on Mora here. She doesn't look great. She looks like she will struggle heavily against some decent fighters. But Janina Silva looks even worse, honestly. The striking, Eduardo Mora is a really bad striker. I haven't seen anything I like from her on the feet. Janina Silva is a better striker, but she's not good. She's not good there, even though she's a better striker. Mora is massive in this spot. She's so much bigger than Janina Silva, it's not even funny. She towered over her in the weigh-ins, and I think that's going to tell in this fight because Mora is a grappler. She's a through and through grappler. All she does is shoot takedowns, spam takedowns, and try to get finishes from top position. Janina Silva is actually the opposite. She kind of just stays on the feet and outpoints her opponents, and because she hasn't been fighting anyone good, she hasn't been found out. I think that Mora is the side here. I know she's been bet out a lot, but I just feel like she's definitely going to shoot takedowns. I mean, I'm guaranteeing that. I think she will get takedowns. And from what I've seen from Silva on bottom, albeit it was a while ago, from what I've seen from Silva on bottom, it's not good, man. I've seen her put in deep submissions. I've seen her get mounted before. And Mora's just super aggressive, man. She's super aggressive. She's just going to go for it. And I do think she gets the finish here. The size is the major thing for me. You know, like I do feel like Silva can maybe stuff a takedown and win some minutes on the feet. But it's like she's so much smaller. We're talking 5'6" to 5'1". I mean, that's insane. As soon as Mora gets on top, she should go to work. If she gets full mount here, she should have learned from that one fight where I see she was getting reversed consistently about 2-3 years ago. I think she would have learned from that. Just learned in general, you know, she's undefeated in MMA at this point, whereas I think that was an amateur career, I think. Yeah, I think Mora's going to get on top and do some work here. I don't really like money line for Mora. Kind of like Hardwick Mill. I don't like laying the money line. I'd much rather just play it inside the distance. Much rather. Because you're capturing most of their winnability, but you don't have to play massive juice, you know? And obviously the limits are a lot lower, especially in these low liquidity markets on the prop market. So maybe you can't get massive money down on the props, whereas for the money line you can. So for that reason, you play money line. Fair enough. But most people in the world are not big gamblers, right? They don't bet thousands of dollars per unit like I do. Most people don't. So they're not going to struggle to play the inside the distance at for high money. So, you know, you can easily, if most people's units are what, $100? I mean, if that, it's easy to play $200 on an inside the distance prop, you know, $300, $400. So I would play more inside the distance rather than laying her money line. But yeah, that's it. Can someone help this dude out? Adri Prado is saying, what was the second pick? What was the second fight? I'll just comment to him. The second pick was pass, mate. Tell him that. Second pick was a big fat pass, mate. There we go. But, by the way, if anyone is super degenerate out there, because every now and then someone's like, what's your pick? What's your pick? And I might say, I'm a gambler. I don't have a pick for every fight. I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know. It's a 50-50 fight. It's weird. I don't know. I don't have a pick. Stop bugging me about a pick. But, I'm not talking about Adri, but messages, I'll get there. People always want to know who I'm picking, right? Because I think what they do is they just parlay them all, right? It's like, whatever you pick. But even if I say there's no value on it at all, don't bet it, they still parlay it because that's just how some people are wired and they probably never change, even though I'm telling them all the time that you have to bet for value is what it is. My pick is Aslan for that fight. My man can't even hear that right now, but anyway. If I have to give a pick. Yeah, so the next fight is, the main event. Bang, right onto the main event. And guys, like I said, if any of you in the chat want to do the live watch along in 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I'm going live on this YouTube channel on my other video. It's already queued up. You can queue it up now. If you go to the live section on my YouTube channel, you can see it. It's Dana White's Contender Series live watch along. We'll watch the fights together. Should be fun. And someone asked me, am I doing live bets? I can't bet live at the moment because, long story short, all of my bookies that allow live betting are, I'm just trying to see, are banned at the moment. You know, it's just regular stuff. Don't worry, I have live betting again soon. I'm in the process of sorting out some accounts. But for the purpose of the stream, I don't mind just having my live betting queued up and tell you if I think there's any value on the line. I usually do it in the spaces where I kind of give my thoughts on the live betting line. So, yeah, I don't mind doing that here. The next fight is the main event, Al-Selwady versus George Hardwick. I don't think anyone in the world is on Al-Selwady. Honestly, I feel like George Hardwick at minus 400 is a fade in this spot. I feel like you play the underdog here if you want to bet it at all, or you take a prop shot on George Hardwick. I like George Hardwick submission at plus 500. It's now like plus 250. I don't really love it now, but I did play it at plus 500. I thought it was a decent bet. I think he's going to probably break down Al-Selwady here, but Al-Selwady has a path with the wrestling. Make no mistake about that. So George Hardwick at minus 400 is a little bit silly. Someone saying, is Selwady value at 400 on the money line? Yeah, I believe he is. Is he 400, my man? Where is he 400? Because honestly, at this point in time, he can't be 400. That's insane. I might have to make a bet. I might make a, you know what? I have to bet him by points. I have to. Just a small play. His points line is plus 500, plus 1,000. I'm playing it right now. I'm putting a quarter of a unit on it, guys. Let me see if it's still plus 1,000. This is a bet live on stream. By the way, Hardwick should break this guy. But oh, Jesus Christ, bro. Plus 1,100 points. I'm going to have to do it, guys. I mean, this is principle. Plus 1,100. Are you smoking? This is insane. Plus 1,100 is insane, guys. Please believe me. I don't think the guy's going to win, but he got a path with the wrestling here. He most certainly has a path with the wrestling. At plus 1,100, guys, that's less than 10% indication. What, you think 1 out of 10 times he can't win a decision? That's stupid. Of course he can. I just played it, guys. And anybody watching this stream is getting this right live right now. I'm going to put it for all of my subscribers. So just bear with me. I've also played submission, so I've already told you about that. So you guys are getting a lot of free bets here today. Let me write that. Al-Selwady via decision. Someone mentioning that over 1.5 at minus 125 seemed odd. Yeah, I do feel like that if Hardwick wins inside the distance, which I'm predicting him to do, it probably does come a little bit later. I just don't, because Al-Selwady shoots so consistently, I like the guillotine can come at any time. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really want to play the over 1.5. I feel like, I don't know, like I'd rather plus 1,100 than over 1.5. I do kind of feel like it does go over 1.5. But I also do think it's quite volatile. So I wouldn't say that minus 125 is insane. I honestly wouldn't. Just because I do feel like he can crack him at any point, you know? All right, Al-Selwady wins via decision. All right, I'm just going to message everyone. I'm going to message the Telegram. Sorry, guys, I'm coming back right now. You know, we're gamblers, boys, so we can't. Yeah, we're gamblers. All right, so I'm back. Is he saying he took Hardwick sub? Yes, brother. I've said that many times. I took Hardwick sub, and I also just took Al-Selwady via decision because it's kind of stupid. Don't really agree with it. So bang, we got Al-Selwady wins via decision. But yeah, guys, basically to break this down, Al-Selwady shoots a lot, right? The guy consistently shoots all the time. Look at my man, innit? Someone help my man out. This guy shoots all the time, Selwady. So he definitely has a path for the wrestling. I've seen George Hardwick defend takedowns well, but when he's taken down, I've seen him struggle on the mat. I haven't seen him look great on the mat. Yeah, he might get back up to his feet, but I haven't seen him look that great there. I do think George Hardwick's going to be able to defend takedowns, maybe get back up once or twice, and start to put the pace and the pressure on Al-Selwady, just how I feel Hyder Emil will do and how I felt Peyton Talbot will do last time out. You know, I feel like the pace and pressure will start to get to Selwady. I think George Hardwick's a cleaner striker and his range control and distance management is a lot better. So I do feel like as the time wears on, you know, when you're talking about late in the first round, middle, late second round, once that starts happening, I do think that Hardwick's going to get his range, going to start hurting Al-Selwady. I have seen Al-Selwady knocked out multiple times, albeit they have come from kind of meme-ish knockouts. So I don't think he's got a bad chin. You know, I feel like everyone and their mother is playing Hardwick KO here. And yes, okay, I can put my hands up and admit that it's probably the most likely outcome of any outcome of the fight, I guess. But you're paying massive juice for Hardwick KO when, like, Al-Selwady's been knocked out only by massively meme shots, like massive knees and spinning back elbows. And Hardwick, yeah, he's got great body shots, but I don't think he's got this amazing one-punch power or anything. And I haven't really seen him throw spinning back elbows and stuff. So I don't know, man. I just don't really understand laying big juice on the KO prop when the submission is just as live. I feel like the submission could be live because Selwady shoots in all the time. And when he shoots in, he puts his head in right there for a guillotine, you know, shoots in for the double leg. And the guillotine is right there. And Hardwick will go to the guillotine. He will love the guillotine. I honestly, like, would be kind of surprised if Hardwick doesn't try one guillotine this fight. And that's all I need him to do. To cover the plus 500 line that I paid for Hardwick submission, all I need him to do is shoot like one gilly. So that's it, guys. I'm predicting Hardwick via submission in this spot. And our bets are Hardwick via submission, small poke, and Al-Selwady decision, small poke. So that's it. That's it, guys. I'm done. Thank you, everybody, for being here. 175 of you or something it peaked at. So there's a lot of people. If anybody wants to watch these fights along with me, in 5 minutes, I'm going live on this same YouTube channel on another video. I've got the links on my Telegram channel, on my Twitter, and all you need to do is stay on the YouTube app, go to the live section of my channel, and you will see it's queued up as an upcoming live video. So I'll see you there. Hopefully, I've got 171 of you here, so hopefully I get to see 171 of you in 5 minutes. I'm going to go make myself another tea, re-up on the tea, come back, sit in front of the screen, and let's watch the fights together. Let's make some money together and have a happy Tuesday. Yeah, so stay blessed, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and hopefully I'll see you in 5 minutes. Let's go. Like the video. Yeah, if you're here for now, I gave you a lot of free shit. Hopefully you can like the video for me. Shout out to you lot. Good luck on your bet. See you in 5 minutes. Bang.